I would like to welcome the viewers of Mandiner here from CPAC Hungary. Here with me is Jair Netanjahu, the son of Benjamin Netanjahu, who is also a podcaster and a political activist. Welcome.
Thank you, Timi. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be in Hungary and a pleasure to be in CPAC.
I wanted to ask you about, this is not your first time in Hungary, so what is your impression of Hungary?
Hungary almost feels by now like a second home. I've been here many times. It is such a safe place, such a welcoming place. I love the culture, I love the people. As an Israeli, as a Jewish person, as a conservative, it feels so welcoming and so safe. And I love Hungary, and I love the Hungarian people. I love Budapest, and we are very appreciative for the support of Hungary and Prime Minister Orbán to Israel. And they're always, Prime Minister Orbán has such a strong moral compass, always staying on the right side of justice, of truth, of reason, even if the woke mob in Brussels are trying to push him the other way.
Wonderful. So, since October the 7th, there has been a rise of anti-Israel hatred in the West, on the streets, even in politics. Why do you think that is? Were you surprised of this?
First of all, I must say I'm surprised. Israel being unprovocably attacked and invaded by a terrorist organization, registered not just a terrorist organization in Israel, but in Europe and in America as well. They invaded us without any reason and took over our cities and murdered whole families, burned them alive in their own houses, raped women and children and beheaded them and took back hostages inside Gaza. We saw not just Hamas doing it, but Palestinian civilians. After the first wave of invaders, of Hamas terrorists, came a stroll of Gaza civilians. They came in with flip-flops and shorts and just raped and pillaged whatever they could find and murdered. It was horrific. This was our 9/11. And the whole world rightfully united around the United States after its 9/11 and its just war in Afghanistan. Because of 9/11, America went to the other side of the world, not alone, together with all of NATO, to root out Al-Qaeda and Bin Laden out of Afghanistan because they're responsible for 9/11. And Israel is doing the same thing now with Gaza. It's not on the other side of the world. It's right on our doorstep. The whole country is smaller than Hungary. We're a very small country, and we are fighting for our survival. And to see the world's reaction to this is very surprising, but also not very surprising if you look at history. I think that a lot of anti-Semites in the world, instead of feeling sorry for the women and children and babies that were murdered and raped, they were happy. They smelled blood. They were happy because finally they think, oh, maybe there is a way to destroy Israel. I think we proved in the last year and a half that their dream to destroy Israel is untenable, unfortunately for them, and Israel is strong and it's here to stay. And we did an amazing job dismantling the military threat from the terrorist organization of Hamas and Hezbollah. But I think it's important for Hungarians and for Europeans to understand that what we see in the West, in Western Europe, in America, it's not about Israel, it's not about the Palestinians. It's about the desire to destroy Western civilization, to destroy Judeo-Christian civilizations. When they are waving the Palestinians' flags in American cities and American colleges, they are burning at the same time the American flags. They say down with Israel, down with America. When they do it in the UK, it's the same with the British flag, and same in France, same in Germany. This is not really about Israel. This is about the Red-Green Alliance, the Marxist and the Islamist shared goal of destruction of the West. Israel is their first goal because they think it's the easiest goal because we were the smallest. And then Europe and America is their real goal. So we are fighting in the front lines of Europe, of Western civilization, against Islamic barbarian invasion, against Islamic barbaric medieval mentality that want to take Europe after they're done with Israel.
Yeah, despite of this, there is many voices in Western Europe. The Prime Minister of Spain, for example, who is pushing for a Palestinian state, a two-state solution as they call it. Do you think a two-state solution will happen?
Two-state solution is it's the politically correct final solution for the Jews. There was a Palestinian state, independent, sovereign in every way possible, since 2005, and that's Gaza. Gaza had full control on their own territory until the last inch of what they claimed off the line. We gave full control to the Palestinians. We uprooted in 2005 all the Jewish communities that lived there for generations, that had farms and had their homes for generations, that were born there. We uprooted all the Israeli civilians from the Gaza Strip, kicked them out of their houses. We even uprooted the graves and the bodies inside the graves of the graveyards. We left Gaza completely Judenrein, completely Jewish, empty of Jews, and we gave them the control. They received billions of dollars in euros from the European Union, from America. They could have built Singapore or Dubai in this beautiful stretch of Mediterranean coast. Instead, all of this money went to the leaders of Hamas for their own personal corruption in their family, or to build the biggest infrastructure of terror, underground tunnels and missile rockets in the world, right on the doorstep of Israel. This is what they did with the European money, with the American money. Israel is in the size of New Jersey. We are, the distance between the Mediterranean Sea, including Tel Aviv, and then the highlands of Judea and Samaria, or what people say the West Bank, it's about 15 kilometers. No country can survive as a strip of land of 15 kilometers when the other side of the border are not the Austrians, are not the Czechs, are not Slovaks. There are medieval radical Islamists that we think, everybody is the same, everybody want to have a good life for themselves and their children. But apparently not, because the Islamists are ideological, and what they want is the destruction of Israel, the destruction of Jews, the destruction of Christianity, the destruction of Europe, and a worldwide caliphate of Islam and a worldwide Sharia. This is what they believe. This is what they openly say, and we need to take them by their words. We need to believe what they say publicly. This is why they do terrorist attack in Europe. Why do they do terrorist attack in London and Paris and in Berlin? Do they have any claims about occupation to justify their terror attacks over there? No, it's about Islamic domination of the West.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think Western European countries are so fixated on this one idea of a two-state solution?
I think because they are ruled by this very radical deep state bureaucrats in their foreign offices that are obsessed about Jews, obsessed about Israel. For the same reason, some Europeans were obsessed about Jews through entire history, for anti-Semitism. That's one reason. The other reason is because they have a huge Muslim voting bloc, and they want to appease the Muslim voting bloc, which is very important in countries like France, Britain, Germany, Netherlands, and Belgium, and other countries in the West.
So there are many ordinary people who are confused by what is happening in Israel because they mostly view mainstream media, and the mainstream media is very anti-Israel. So what would you tell them about Israel's war in Gaza?
So mainstream media is hostile to Judeo-Christian civilization. It's hostile to every country which is patriotic and have national pride and is not willing to submit to the international unelected bodies like the UN and the EU. And they hate Hungary, they hate Israel. And the big money, a lot of the money of the media comes from Qatar, which is an Islamist Muslim Brotherhood country that has the same ideology of Al-Qaeda and ISIS and Hamas. And they are pushing this anti-Semitic, anti-Western, anti-Jewish, anti-Christian, anti-Israeli content to the mainstream media in Europe. And I think the European average person needs to understand that the war of the mainstream media against Israel is not just against Israel, it's against his own country as well. It's against Christianity and against Western civilization as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.